This is the City Rhythm 30 ml collector set, and today I'm gonna rank them from worst to best. Welcome to Fragrance Network. I'm excited about this one today. These City Rhythm fragrances are pretty good, and I think you guys are gonna like them too. So starting out with the box presentation, comes in this beautiful City Rhythm limited edition box. Says it right there. And then it has 6 fragrances on top there. And then it has a little drawer that pulls out for the last 6. So along with the nice box presentation, they have nice but rather simple bottles, I think. Nothing too special about them, but one thing that's cool is the liquid inside has this kind of like gold dust in it, or most of them had gold dust. There are a few with slightly different colored kind of shimmering glitter in there, but most of them are the gold glitter, and it looks really cool, and I think kind of makes up for, in my opinion, a somewhat lackluster bottle. It's a pretty simple bottle with the plaque just kind of put on there, but the plaques are pretty cool, so maybe I'm being too hard on the bottle, but what really matters is what's inside. I'm gonna go ahead and rank these in order from my least favorite to my favorite of the City Rhythm fragrances. And spoiler alert, most of them are pretty good. So starting off with my least favorite fragrance, that is Barcelona, the one I was just using to show you the bottle. Barcelona is not that good. It has some notes that I'm not a big fan of. It's very wine heavy. It also has pomegranate off the top, but I think a big reason I don't like it is cherry in the middle note and maybe the wine kind of throughout it. But it does get better when it dries down because it has some notes that I really like there. It has amber, sandalwood, cedar, which are some notes that I really like. So it does get better when it dries down, but it doesn't get too much better. And for the most part, for me, it just smells weird. And I don't think I've really smelled many fragrances with wine in it, so maybe I'm not a fan of wine. But I do know I'm not a fan of cherry, and this also has cherry in it. Now, a lot of the City Rhythm fragrances have similar notes. I feel like this one strays away a little bit. A lot of them have coconut and vanilla in it. This one doesn't have either of those, and it's sad that it doesn't. Now, I've never been to Barcelona, but I hope it doesn't smell like this. Now, it does have that little bit of a tropical vibe to it, but a little bit of a higher end kind of refined tropical vibe. So it might be something you like if you're looking for kind of a sophisticated tropical fragrance. Next up is Puerto Rico in the 11th spot. Now, I'm also not a huge fan of Puerto Rico, which is why it's down near the bottom. The smell is kind of weird. It has pineapple off the top, which I'm starting to notice that I am not a huge fan of pineapple, which is weird because I love the smell of actual pineapples, but a lot of the fragrances that I've smelled with pineapple notes, I don't seem to like all that much. So Puerto Rico, it's definitely better. It's something that I might wear every once in a while, but it's not really my cup of tea. Definitely tropical. And, you know, if you're Bad Bunny, you might love this, you know? So, not terrible, but just not for me. Next up in 10th is 8641. So 8641 is kind of a combination of Puerto Rico and St. John. And the reason this one is a little bit above Puerto Rico is because I like the St. John fragrance, which is a little bit later in this ranking. And so this one is kind of saved a little bit by St. John, but brought down by Puerto Rico, in my opinion. But if you really like the Puerto Rico fragrance and you really like St. John, you will probably love this one. So St. John has a quincy note and a guava note, which is in this, that isn't in Puerto Rico. And I think that's kind of what brings it up for me. I think the guava is really nice in the top of this fragrance. The dry down on this one also is pretty nice, and I can see this one being worn in the summer, in the beach, you know, on the beaches, just like St. John and Puerto Rico, kind of tropical places. But I could also see this being dressed up at a nicer event. But again, it just, for me, is brought down by the Puerto Rico kind of side of this fragrance. Not a bad one, definitely better, but not super for me. In the 9th spot is Austin. Now, Austin is actually a pretty good fragrance. This is where we're starting to get into ones that I actually like, but why is it still so far down? Because quite frankly, this is an evening manly scent that kind of, works well with the theme of Austin, but I just think there are other deeper scents, with the tobacco cognac kind of vibe in it that I like better. And there's a lot of others that I've smelled that just do that better than Austin, I think. It's still nice. It's kind of got a sweetness to the tobacco and the leather and the cognac. It kind of is a bit sweeter than that, and I think maybe it's the vanilla in the base that kind of brings that sweetness out. It also has tonka bean in the middle, so that could be part of it as well. This one's actually quite nice. I do like it, but I just like the others a bit more, and it fits the vibe of Austin really, really well. So this one is definitely a good one to check out, in my opinion. Every fragrance from here on out is a good one to check out. So it's a deeper, smoky, alcoholic type fragrance with the cognac and the tobacco. So it just really gives you nice, manly vibes, but some of that sweetness in it, maybe from the amber and vanilla, makes it seem like you're a tough guy, but also you got a little sweet edge to you. So I think this is a great fragrance, especially for dates, because it shows, hey, I'm a man, but I'm a man who's a little soft and can be soft at times. I'm not rough all the time, And I think that's kind of the vibe that Austin gives off. Wonderful fragrance, but I just like some of the others more. They just fit me personally better. Great fragrance though. Next up is St. John. Like I said, St. John would be coming later. Has some similarities to 8641, but I think is a lot better because it doesn't have that Puerto Rico in it. It smells really good. Has the quince and guava off the top that smells really good, and the coconut note that is prominent throughout many of these City Rhythm fragrances. It smells really good. It's kind of like a fun tropical fragrance. So it makes me think of like Captain Jack Sparrow, whereas like if we're going in the pirate route, Austin makes me think of Blackbeard, I guess you could say. I don't know why I'm using pirates, but I hope that makes sense. But yeah, St. John, nice tropical fragrance. This one is definitely one that could be worn, I think, in all seasons, because the base has kind of like a deeper sense to it with the rum and sandalwood and even the ambergris a little bit. So I think this one could be worn in all seasons, and I really like that about it. But it is also super fun, kind of summery fragrance as well. Tropical fits this really well. I think St. John is a perfect representation of this fragrance. Next up, I think this fragrance, Manhattan, is really, really unique. I don't really know how to describe this one. It smells almost a little dirty, but it smells good dirty. Like I feel like St. John smells cleaner, a little fresher. This one almost smells like, sometimes when I smell it, I'm like, ugh, I don't know if that smells good, but then I smell it again, I'm like, ooh, that smells really good. It's a very different fragrance, and I like that. I like how different this fragrance is. I've never been to New York, but I have been to Chicago, which is, a decently large city, and this kind of gives me those big city vibes a little bit, so I'm sure this fits Manhattan pretty well. So there are some unique notes that I don't see very often, which I think is kind of what gives this the uniqueness. So some of those notes are myrrh, olibanum, I think that's how you say that, cinnamon, some interesting things that I haven't smelled in too many other fragrances. I guess cinnamon is in some other things as well, but those notes kind of bring out the uniqueness in this fragrance that really help it match that inner city vibe. This to me is a pretty good all year round fragrance. It doesn't feel like it would shine better in any different season over another. So I think you're really safe to use this one year round. Overall, not much more to say about this one. It's unique, smells like Manhattan, it's pretty good. Next up in sixth is Manhattan Midnight. Now this is one of the ones where the flakes in it or the glitter in it is blue rather than gold. This fragrance, I love how unique it is. You can definitely smell the Manhattan DNA in it from that last fragrance, but maybe it's the color, I don't know, but I feel like there's an added like blue raspberry slushy. Like it smells to me like the mix of Manhattan, the fragrance, and a blue raspberry slushy, and I love that. It smells so fun. It smells like out on the town in the middle of the night, kind of a little deeper, but a little bit bright and nightlife like, and I really like that about this fragrance. It smells really interesting. And looking at the notes, there's nothing about raspberry, blue raspberry, so maybe it is just the color that's kind of influencing my mind in that, but I really get like a blue raspberry slushy in here. And of course, everyone's gonna smell something a little different. So this one has a unique pimento note, really unique. I like the scent. It reminds me of Manhattan with blue raspberry, really good. Next up is Nashville. I really like Nashville. This smells so good. It's a vanilla coconutty fragrance, but it's also got kind of like a mocha latte creaminess to it, and it smells nice. I feel like it fits Nashville really, really well. They've got, the Music City. They've got everything going on there, kind of cowboys, country music a little bit, and it just smells warm and inviting, and it's like a comforting fragrance. It also comes off a little manly, but I also feel like this is a manlier fragrance that could be worn by women as well. I like what it says here. It says America's Heartstrings on it for the Nashville in small print, and I think that works really well because this is a fragrance that's gonna pull on the heartstrings of someone. As they smell you, they're gonna be like, ooh, that guy smells good, It's just really nice and clean. The vanilla, the latte, mocha type creaminess in it is really, really nice, but then that coconut in it kind of gives it a little vibrance that just really brings the fragrance together, so it's not just one-dimensional. It becomes a nice three-dimensional fragrance that makes you have a presence in the room that you're in. It's not necessarily a room filler, but you're gonna be noticed wearing this fragrance. Super sweet, super nice, super clean. Love this fragrance. Next up is Miami Tropical Confessions. This is a beautiful fragrance, and I think this one works really, really well for both men and women. The notes in this are really interesting. It has coconut like many of those other City Rhythm fragrances, but also has hibiscus and orchid in it, and it also has rum in it. And I think those kind of notes all playing together gives me the vibe of when I was back in Hawaii, which also works for Miami, but I lived in Hawaii for many years. But what's interesting is it doesn't make me think of being on the beach. It actually makes me think of being inland a little more, just with the greenery of the island, with the other flowers as well, like orchid. The leis are made with orchid and hibiscus, seeing those flowers all around the island. So it kind of makes me think of being in Hawaii, but not on the beach, more inland a little bit, which I think makes sense and works well for Miami as well. So this really fits Miami super good, and Tropical Confession, because of that kind of hibiscus and orchid, that's really a tropical floral. So that really fits this super, super well. Miami Tropical Confessions could not have been named better or matched better with the fragrance. I love this one. These top four of mine are all so good. Seriously, this is an amazing scent. This is Blind by Save. This could be worn by men and women. Really good, really creamy, really floral, like just a wonderful combination of fragrance and scent in this one. So highly recommend picking this one up. We are now on to the top three, and in third place is San Diego Pacific Sunset. I love this one. I've never been to San Diego, but let me tell you, this one makes me think of the beach. Makes me think of sitting on the beach, having a little bit of shade, whether it's from a palm tree or a beach umbrella, and you're either reading a book or you're just watching people surfing, watching the waves roll in, hearing the sound of the sea salt of the waves, just really, really nice fragrance, and it fits the San Diego Pacific Sunset vibe perfectly. I feel like this is a beach night. Like it just fits that so well. Oh, I love it really well. The notes, there's quite a few notes for this. The sea salt, again, I can feel that. I can smell that. It's the spray of the waves coming off the ocean. You can smell that in this scent. But it also has the lavender and the heliotrope and the juniper berries, which kind of give it that little bit of kind of florally vibe to it that makes it feel like you're on a beach more so than just like smelling salt. And then in the middle, it's got almond, nutmeg, iris. These are really interesting notes. There's a bitter almond note in Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait, which is one of my favorite scents. So I wonder if that kind of almond note in here plays a factor in why I like this fragrance so much. But I mean, I don't really smell the almond per se personally, but altogether it's a really well blended fragrance. This is definitely a summertime fragrance. I don't think this is really a winter fragrance at all. If you're going winter, maybe go with Austin or with Nashville. This is definitely more of a summertime fragrance, but it really fits that sunset beach vibe super well. Amazing fragrance. I love this one. In second place is Miami. Miami is a beautiful fragrance. So this is also one of the ones where the kind of glitter dust in it isn't gold. It's kind of a red, pinkish, orangish dust in there, which looks really cool. Miami, this is a beautiful scent. It's a very, very fruity, kind of beachy, tropical type scent to it. And I think it's really, really nice. Now on the top, it has lime, saffron, and coconut. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of lime because I feel like lime can be too strong a lot of the time. So when things are citrusy, I prefer that the lime isn't that strong. However, in this, I think the lime plays off of the coconut and the saffron really well to where it doesn't feel like I'm overpowered by this nasty lime smell. It feels enhanced and just really clean off the top. It makes it fun and exciting. This feels like a fragrance that would make you seem like an interesting person, make you seem exciting, someone that likes to go out and have fun, likes to go on adventures. And it's really, really beautiful, the kind of fruity, almost explosive energy of Miami. I love this scent and love that about it. In the middle, it has ylang ylang, and I think, again, that's another kind of bright, exciting fruit that makes this fragrance stand out. It has that coconut that a lot of these City Rhythm fragrances have, but it's also very unique compared to the City Rhythm fragrances, and I think that it's even visually standing out with the different kind of colored juice and glitter in it. It just stands out in many different ways from the other City Rhythm fragrances. It stands on its own, it's unique, it's potent, and it's something that I think could be worn year-round, but is definitely more summertime leaning, springtime leaning, and it's also, I think, for kind of fun party type events. Good fragrance, highly recommend this one, super, super good. And in the number one spot, my favorite City Rhythm fragrance, which is probably no surprise, is City Rhythm Red Line, which is 2654. I always forget the number on this one, so I just call it the Red Line. But this fragrance is beautiful, and I'm sure you're not surprised that this is my favorite, considering my second and third was Miami and San Diego Pacific Sunset, and this one takes from Miami and San Diego. So this fragrance really does take the best of those two fragrances. It takes kind of the nice, sweet, relaxing, beachy feel of San Diego, like sitting on the beach and feeling those waves and seeing and hearing the waves rolling in. It takes that feeling, that vibe of San Diego, and adds the bright, fun, exciting, eccentric part of the Miami fragrance, and it smashes those together in a really unique and stunning fragrance. In terms of coconut fragrances, tropical fragrances, this is one of the best. It smells super, super good. So you would think the combination of the bright and fun Miami and the kind of relaxed carefreeness of San Diego would make this seem even more bright, fun, summery, but I actually feel like that combination makes this feel a little bit more refined and a little bit more sophisticated. And so because of that, I feel like this can be worn, of course, definitely in summer, but I also feel like this could be worn on date nights. I think it could be worn in winter, not as good in winter, but I still think it could be. And it's just a really nice all-around fragrance that you could use year-round. So really, really stunning fragrance. Now, just a quick note on all of these City Rhythm fragrances. They all project pretty good. They're not room fillers, but people will smell them on you. And another thing that's great about them is they all last a long time. I would say that these have slightly above average longevity and something that you're not gonna have to worry about it going away too quickly. So thank you for watching my ranking on these City Rhythm fragrances. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know how you would rank the City Rhythm fragrances, which one's your favorite and why. And please like this video, subscribe, and I appreciate you guys watching the video. Have a great day.